good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time you're watching the Student Athlete Playbook video conversation, we say thank you. I am Barry Brown, author of the #1 book for youth student athletes around the world and a member of the leadership team for Youth Education and Sports, the nonprofit organization that meets young people where they are, help them develop a plan for their life, and work with them to achieve the goals that they have set for themselves. And as you know, when you're watching the video conversation, the Student Athlete Playbook video conversation, let me get that right. I got to announce the show right. You know, you're witnessing and listening to some of the best student athletes around the world, some of the best parents and coaches around the world, and youth service providers that we can connect with and build with. And today is no different. Today we are featuring a young man I've known for quite a while now. I met him when he was a little bit younger, man, a little bit shorter too. And then he just sprouted up on me. And I'm like, what in the world? And he's developed into this outstanding young man, this outstanding student athlete. That's just, I mean, I'm very excited for his future. So today we're featuring Sprayberry High School in Marietta, Georgia, own Judah Williams. Judah, how you doing today, my brother?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing wonderful. And now you see some adults, you see some other people on this amazing screen here. You have my partner, Coach Emory Williams, longtime veteran in the game, man, has coached some outstanding young people. And so, Coach Williams, my brother, how you doing today?
All is well, Coach Brown. Thank you for conducting this meeting. All is well.
Yes, sir. And then the young lady you see right there is none other than Dr. Amanda Williams, educator, artist. Listen, the lady's amazing. And so, you know, when you see amazing adults around amazing young people, then you have to look no further on why they're doing what they're doing. And so I learned that in the education game. Hey, you see the young person in the school, you know, acting great, acting bad, acting indifferent. What all you have to do is see the parents, and then you know exactly why they're acting the way they are acting. So let's jump right into this thing. Judah, you are the man of the hour. Man, we want to share who you are, what you're about with the world. And let's just jump into it, man. So like I just mentioned, I have a decent idea of how you've been raised. I've known you for several years now. And now you're a senior in high school, which is amazing. So what are some of the main lessons that you've learned growing up with the parents that you have and the family that you have? Because I've seen some of your families on some other video meetings that I've been blessed, honored, and to be invited to. So I'm like, man, you got a great village around you. So what are some of the main lessons that you've learned over the years that you've been growing up?
I've had a lot of lessons taught to me by my parents, but I think one of the main lessons that I've really like internalized and lived by for my life is the freedom to, like, I can do anything. Like I was raised, my mom was telling me, and my dad, they always told me I could do anything and be anything I wanted to be. So I kind of just grew up thinking I could do, or knowing I can do whatever I wanted to do and be whatever I wanted to be. Like at one point I wanted to be a fire truck. And I really in my mind believed that I could be it. So
right.
Yeah, that's what.
So let me make sure I heard that right. You said you wanted to be an actual fire truck?
Yes, a fire truck. I was very
like,
young.
Did you watch Blades and the monster trucks growing up? Was that one of your shows? Where did you get it? I'm just curious the way you got the fire truck, not the fireman part, but the fire truck part from.
I don't know. I guess
remember where you got that from?
No, I think just because I love trucks and trains when I was a little kid. So
machines.
Yeah, those are some shows I watched. So I got
you.
Yeah.
What was your favorite show as a kid? Like that 3-year-old up to maybe 8, 9 years old. What do you remember some of the shows you were watching back then?
Yeah, I love Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah. Thomas, that was my favorite. Show. Yeah.
That's a good time.
That's what's up. That's a good show. That's a good show. That's a good coach. Man, I'm just curious. So y'all remember? Obviously, y'all remember that time y'all are laughing tremendously about the fire truck situation. What do y'all remember how y'all responded to that when he said he wanted to be a fire truck versus a fireman? Do y'all remember how did y'all respond to that? I'm just curious.
Coach and I, we love kids. Obviously, we've been blessed to have 4 of our own, and additional. We just have a large family, so we just really we just encourage our kids to me at that age. If they want to be a fire truck, it's very important to encourage them to explore. Because we know sooner or later reality sets in.
Right.
So just to encourage them to explore their imagination, I think is a blessing.
I love it. You want to add anything to that, Coach?
Oh well, we've always taught our kids that they can do and be whatever they want to. So if he wants to be a fire truck, yeah, you're gonna be the best fire truck around. So yeah,
right.
we had a great laugh with that. It kind of caught me off guard when he said that. I'd forgotten about that.
That's beautiful. No, I love that because Judah, here's the thing about that. That shows your creative mind. That shows a little bit about your personality, and I think that's awesome because I literally have never heard that before. So that's like the coolest thing I've heard in a long time. So that's awesome, man. And you know what it made me really think about? It made me think about the Transformers, how they transform, into different things, and then work as a team to accomplish goals and objectives and initiatives and all that stuff. So that's cool, man. So so if you hear me, Judah, I was like, man, Judah the fire truck, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Put that siren on, man. Let's go.
He was definitely into trucks, and I remember when I got you a big fire truck. No, it wasn't a fire truck. It was the Hess truck for Christmas.
Oh yeah, that's classic.
Yeah, one of those huge trucks. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that Hess truck is. If y'all still got that's a collector's item right there, Dr. Williams. Hey, listen, y'all wrap that thing up, bubble wrap that thing.
That's right. I don't know where it is though. I'll be honest, I have no idea.
Oh man. Right. Oh man. Well, Judah, that's awesome, man. Listening to your parents talk right there, and then to know, and that is a great feeling of freedom to know that you have the ability and the support to become whoever you want to be. So check parents, coaches. You just heard Dr. Williams say she actually told her son. You heard Coach Williams say, "Hey, whatever they want to be, hey, we're going to support that and make sure that we put that into action and help them become who they want to be." And that is a mission of youth education and sports with our student athlete achievement program, which Judah is a part of and been a great leader to our younger student athletes in the program. But let's go to, we have an early comment in the show. Let's see what's going on. We got Coach Bryant. She's listening to the show. Right. Thank you, Coach Bryant, for always supporting and checking out the show. So she's laughing. I know she's laughing about that fire truck. So, Coach, if you got something else to say about that fire truck, and as we go on with the show, please let us know. But Coach Bryant right there, just for everybody watching this video, she is the head coach of a women's tackle football team that they play big lady. I ain't gonna say big girl. They play big lady football, and then her son is the starting safety at the University of Kentucky. Ty Bryant, who was one of our past student athletes of the year for the youth education and sports student athlete playbook. So, shout out to Coach Terry Bryant, and thank you for listening. Yes, ma'am. So now, Judah, you're a student athlete. Obviously, you've participated in a lot of sports growing up. What are some of your favorite sports that you participated in or still participating in right now as a senior at Sprayberry High School in Marietta, Georgia?
For my favorite sport, I had to get to football. I've been doing that since I was in 4th grade, even though it was on and off. I just say like all the team aspect of it and just going to war with your brothers every week and like just being around them, it makes it one of the best sports ever to me.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I'm I'm definitely a football guy. I'm a football and baseball guy. Those are two sports I participated in high school. I played. Ironically enough, people laugh Judah at me, and I don't know if I've shared this with you, but my very first sport ever was soccer. At 6 years old, that's the first sports my parents put me into, and that paved the way for me to go into football and to baseball as the sports I stayed with, throughout. So that's awesome, man. Football. Now I saw that you throw the discus, man, in track. Did I read that correctly?
Yes, sir.
Now I don't think I've ever spoke to you about that. What was that like, learning how to throw the discus? I'm curious about that, and I know a lot of people don't ever talk about the discus, except probably when the Olympics come around. So tell us a little bit more about developing to a discus thrower.
Well, I started discus freshman year as just like a sport just to do, because I wanted to do track, but I was kind of, I wouldn't say too slow, but I just didn't want to really run to do the 400 or any of the events. So learning discus was fun, kind of like I thought of it as a challenge, just like learning how to throw and get a technique down and see with my friends who could throw the farthest.
Oh, I love that, man. I love that. So by far, football is your best sport. Now, are you going to throw the discus this spring in track? Are you going to participate this spring?
To be honest, I think my throwing days are over. I'm more focused on running and getting faster.
I got you. So football is the focus right now. Your senior season. Got you. I understand. So I want to talk to your dad and mom for a second, because they can give, because of their backgrounds and education and the things that they do. I'm gonna go with you, Coach Williams, first. When Judah was younger, and y'all have other children, like, did you and Amanda talk about like, what did y'all want to instill in them? What was it that y'all said, hey, you know what? We've seen this stuff out here in the world, but just what we want to put into our kids. What did y'all talk about? Or if you did not talk about it, you can say that too. And the main thing is, did y'all have a vision and plan on how y'all wanted to raise your children? I guess that's the bottom line question. Did y'all have a plan on how y'all wanted to raise them? Go ahead, Coach.
Yes, sir. So first of all, we encourage all of our kids to participate in something other than just academics, just for the discipline, the scheduling, teaching them about interacting with other people, all the benefits that sports and the arts have to do with students as they're going through these formative stages. So Judah didn't share this, but he also plays the saxophone. So we started off early with music and sports. When he wasn't as interested in some of the sports, he played the saxophone. And of course, we supported that as well. But just the reason we encouraged participation in other things was just looking at how we can help them be well-rounded while they're going through academia. And I'd love to hear what Amanda has to say, because she gets all the glory for the academic part, because my whole push was, hey, let's just do the on-level stuff, because AP and honors classes, it takes a lot of time. I kind of took the short route, but I wasn't really into the academics that way when I was in high school. So I yielded, and I see now the benefits with our oldest daughter, who's now in college and doesn't have to take any math or any English language arts courses, because we stressed that academic focus while she was in high school. So Amanda, I'd love to hear what your thought was on our plan and how we went about it.
Yeah, thank you, Coach. Yeah, the academics are always important. And when, as you have been saying, Coach Brown and Coach Williams, when you approach it with a plan, and you, even if you have to make adjustments along the way, right? As long as you have a plan in place, I think that's most important, right? And helping your child to maximize their potential. But I would say, as a mother, and particularly as a mother, as Judah's mom, one of the things, there are two big things, and they probably overlap when you think about it, but it's so important as parents that we instill in our children a sense of identity, a sense of who they are, because of all of the challenges that they face, both big and small, challenges that we know about as parents and challenges that maybe we don't know about, that they don't tell us about. It's important that they are equipped with a firm belief in who they are. And I would say the second thing is related to that, and that is the mindset. We just being sure that we provide our kids with the tools they'll need to have that mindset, that growth mindset, like Judah, like you had said earlier, like you believe that you can do it, that you can do all things. And so one of those, the identity and the growth mindset, those things are, for our family, is rooted in faith. And even Coach Brown, you in many of your shows, I love how you always give the affirmations. So Coach and I, we do have certain affirmations that we tell our kids, that regardless of what they are going through in life, or if they've messed up, if they've made a mistake, or if they have a goal in mind, or if they have something that they want to do, we say, well, who are you? Especially like if they've messed up. Well, I am. Judah can tell you what I tell y'all when you mess up. Who are you?
The righteousness of God.
Yes. So they have to have that belief in who they are. They have to have that affirmation, something that is rooted in, I may have messed up, I may have made a mistake, but I know that I am loved. And I know that I am supported. And I believe that, just having those regular conversations with them, having those affirmations, that even if you don't do it every day, you do it at certain times in their lives where it's instilled in them, those are going to be the things that will carry them through life.
Woo. Man. Now, Coach, Dr. William, let me see. I take notes on everything we do here, and I got to make sure I get this right. So these amazing words that y'all use, these phrases, well-rounded children. So parents, coaches, counselors, y'all pay attention to this, because this is when we get to the nitty-gritty, when we have parents like this on the podcast. Well-rounded children. We heard the word love. Now that's a word, Dr. Williams, I've seen missing in education for a long time, because I know when we were children growing up, it was nothing for our teachers to tell us that they loved us and They wanted to see us do well. And I know that's something that's missing in the schools right now, where you talk about love. Hey man, that's the number one ingredient, in my opinion, personally. Then I heard the word affirmation. Lord have mercy. Listen. Positive affirmations work better than some of, I'm talking about in therapy, and we're talking to our spouses, our family members. When we can include positive information in those discussions, absolutely with our children. I don't think it gets any better than that. So thank you for sharing that. And I love that question when you say, well, who, Judah, Daniel, Zahari, who are you? Woo, that's a powerful question. And I know they have an answer for that. I can't imagine them not having an answer to say back to y'all. So that's beautiful. Yeah, I love that. And then the growth mindset. Absolutely outstanding. Hey, Coach, Dr. Williams, thank y'all for sharing that. That's beautiful. And I think Coach Bryant made another comment. We're gonna go there before we move on. But it speaks right in line. Here it is. I love it. Help kids be the best that they can be in whatever they want to do.
Absolutely, Coach Bryant. Absolutely. Because it's all about the belief,
what we're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Dr.
believing in
Williams.
who they
Yeah,
are.
you have something? Well?
Oh, no, sir. I was just going to say, right on, Coach Brian and Coach Brown, everything y'all have been saying. We have to instill in kids the belief, in who they are, and that, they were created to shine. They were created to succeed. They were created to be somebody. And in spite of whatever situations they might encounter, they have to understand their value. Even if it's not happening externally around them, they're getting messages that are contrary to that. They have to internalize the truth about who they are, in order to have the strength to achieve their goals, to achieve their dreams, and to fulfill their destiny. It really is a real thing.
Wow, I love it. Fulfill your destiny. Yeah, you are Dr. Williams by far. You are Dr. Williams by far. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Judah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. 3.0 over 3.0 GPA. You obviously take learning and education seriously. Obviously. What is your favorite subject in school right now? Do you have a favorite subject?
To be honest, I don't really have actually I love ELA because those classes just seem like the most, what's the word for it? Like inclusive, I guess. Because it's like
right.
Usually everyone shares their essay, or if we're doing a project or something, like we all share. It's a group setting. But I also love some science classes like biology. I've always been into like biology and life science and animals and stuff like that. So I'd say those two.
I got you. Well, I like that. I don't know if I ever told you this, but my major in college was English. So I love the fact that you in the arts of writing and reading and discussing. So those are I think every kid, again, I'm biased, however, but I think English is one of the most important things that we can have, because the ability to communicate in writing and verbally is critical to anybody's success, be it they're a doctor or whatever field of business they go into. It all starts with being able to read and write and communicate. And so I love that. That's one of your favorite classes by far. So now Judah, so this is a question for all of you all, but Judah, I want to start with you. How important that you've traveled, you've met young people from around the country now. How important is it for you to see? Well, let me ask this way. How important is it for you to display yourself with great character, and then for other youth and young people like yourself to display outstanding character? How important is that in your opinion?
In my opinion, I think it's very important to show good character. Because especially in the community, right? And especially some of the communities around here, if you paint yourself with a bad image, I feel like sometimes the image will just stick.
Yeah.
And then if a bad image sticks, a bad character, whenever it's time comes for someone to trust you, maybe, or they need your help, they'll probably remember that. So I think it's very important.
Yeah. Gotcha. Coach Williams, what do you say? I know you have a lot to say about this subject. So what do you want to talk about when you start talking about the importance of our young people showing great character?
Well, first of all, a lot of people don't understand about character as far as it being what you're doing, nobody else is watching. But actually, everyone's always watching. So they're always watching what you do, how you do it,
yes,
how you
sir.
carry yourself, from your clothes you wear to the way that you talk, your relationships. are so important. I've shared with Judah, and we've shared with a lot of kids. One of the first things that college coaches ask athletes after their grades, how are their grades? They ask, what is their character like? And they do a deep search on character from all your social media accounts to going to talk to your teachers to see, what is that athlete or artist, what is their character like? So this is something that we continue to stress with our children and their friends and anybody who comes in contact with us, that that character is so important outside of everything else you're doing.
Wow, I love it, Coach. I like what you said, which is critical, and I know what I'm saying. I know this because this is what this is what we teach with the Student Athlete Achievement Program. So I love every time you say it is what you are doing when no one is watching. And these young people like Judah, they are facing a time that that all of us, Dr. Williams, yourself, myself, we didn't face these times where literally, with my phone, literally every single person almost is walking around with one of these things, and they can take pictures and videos at any moment. And then it's all these cameras in the sky everywhere. So it's almost like, we literally are being watched every single moment. And I think that's important for our young people to know. Hey, man, it doesn't matter what you think you're doing and getting away with. Somebody is capturing that image. What Judah just said, there's an image. And if you're doing something wrong, that's a bad image. And Judah is absolutely correct. It will stick with you. That's for sure. Dr. Williams, you want to say anything about the importance of character with our young people? Or just people? How about this? Just people in general, the adults too, us.
Well, yeah, and just keeping it real, we all make mistakes. We all mess up. And to pretend otherwise is just not, being authentic. So, I just want to encourage everyone that, when you mess up, when I mess up, that there is grace, and that it's okay to admit our mistakes and do what we can to either bring correction or to bring forgiveness or to bring a change of mind and of heart, right? To course correct, so to speak, and to turn to faith, right? To turn to our faith. And I just think that it's not for most, for us as human beings, it's not a matter of if, but when. And so, when we fail, when we fall, when we make a mistake, that love is there. Love is there for us. We may not be able to feel it or to sense it at the time, but love is there. And we when we make a mistake, we can acknowledge it and we can heal from it and become stronger and better. And that is just as bigger than importance to our character development than, all the successes and all of the, look at what I did. And, aren't I perfect?
Yeah.
We all want to project that image, but, I think our greatest moments in life really do come in the face of adversity or in the face of failure, but even if it is a failure of character, that God's grace and his redemption is there.
Listen, Dr. Williams, let me tell you something. You're going to make me sign up for a session tomorrow. Real. Man. Oh, wait a minute now. So, wait a minute. So you telling me when we mess up, there's a thing called grace. Did you said that, right? You said grace,
yes,
right?
Yes, sir.
Wow. So young people, check this out. Even if we make a mistake, now I'm gonna put this word in, we can recover from that mistake.
Yes.
We can actually recover from mistakes. Then Dr. Williams talked about forgiveness. See, Dr. she didn't tell us she was actually Mrs. Dr. Pastor Williams. She didn't say that. But I'm gonna say it. So we got course correct. We can course correct. That means we can actually take notes and look at it. So Coach Williams and I and Judah we know about watching film and looking at us missing tackles and missing blocking assignments and not being where we're supposed to be. And then we course correct that in practice. And we get in position to do it better in the next practice session, in the next game opportunity. So that's very important, course correcting. And then now I'm gonna go. I can't sing that well, Dr. Williams. Judah, don't laugh at me. But I gotta do this. Coach has seen me do this before, but I gotta do it right now. Because see, there's a song, by Donnie McClurkin that says, "We all fall down, but we get up." That's right. That's right. That's right. I should let you sing it, Doctor. I'm sorry. I should have asked you to sing it. But I love that part about it. I love that part about it because Coach Williams and I, we can go hard. We can go, we coaches, we can go hard, like, man, you got to do this, young lady, you got it, boom, boom, boom. And so I love the fact that you brought out the grace part. And that's what I'm personally learning how to get better at. Because see, I have 2 daughters, so I can't, you can't, it's hard to roughhouse daughters. You know what I'm saying? You can't, they daughters, they're your girls, So, so that's important for us to have that grace part in there, not only for the young people that we're working with and the young people under that standing that for themselves, but we have to, like you mentioned, overall, all of us have to show grace to ourselves.
Yes.
Which is allows us to come back and offer forgiveness and to get up and to acknowledge our mistakes and keep moving forward. Woo! Dr. Williams, you're breaking it down. You're breaking it down today. Let's go to the comments for a second. Let's go to the comments for a second. So we got Coach Bryant here. Let's put it back on the screen. Boom. Absolutely. God's grace is sufficient. Yes. Thank you, Coach Bryant. See, so Coach Bryant is a part of our circle, right? Everybody that's watching this video. And so when we put the spiritual part in here, the faith part that Dr. Williams mentioned, now that can make everything all right. And that's what we have to remember when we fail, because failure is a part of the growth mechanism. So Coach Williams knows this, and Coach, if you can speak to this as we move forward, speak to this right quick to us. If I'm not mistaken, and I know in my playing career, I always remembered I personally played better after a loss than I did after a win, because I learned something. And our coaches got on us so bad that I was afraid to make them same mistakes twice. So can you speak to that, Coach, as far as learning from a mistake as you move forward?
Yeah. So everyone always think that L stands for a loss, but actually it's an opportunity to learn from the mistakes that you made previously. That losing helps to build adversity. And that adversity is something that's very important, not just on the field, but in life. When these athletes, student athletes, my son grows up, this game of sport will teach him how to deal with adversity when he has his own family. No one goes on and wins all the time. You're going to take a loss here and there, but that loss is an opportunity for a lesson. And that's what we try to continue to push into our youth. So in turn, as they learn how to deal with the loss, it makes them a better person all the way around, on the field, in the classroom, at home.
That's beautiful, Coach. That L in a loss actually stands for learning a lesson, to face adversity and to come back from that adversity and be stronger and better from it. people, and it's amazing that this came up in this conversation, because just yesterday I posted about resistance only makes us stronger. I think that's on my Facebook page, if I'm not mistaken. I talked about resistance only makes us stronger on one of the posts I made yesterday. I think I was talking about the Blue Hose, my Presbyterian College Blue Hose, because they actually had a tight game. They just beat the brakes off somebody, and then they went up to Butler up there in Indiana, Butler University, and beat the Bulldogs up there. I think they're the Bulldogs, and they only beat them 35. They only beat them like 31 to 25 or something like that, a close game. But hey, resistance only makes us strong. Thank you, Dr. Williams. Thank you, Coach Williams. That's absolutely awesome. So now, Judah, what other activities? So now your dad let it out. He let it out. Saxophone. Mm-hmm. I had no idea you played the saxophone. Now I shouldn't be surprised because of your sister playing the violin, so I shouldn't be too surprised. But man, what you put down the saxophone? How long did you actually play the saxophone?
I played saxophone from 6th grade to sophomore year. So that's like 5 years, I think, right? 5 years.
Wow.
So yeah.
So you telling me you can actually leave your chair right now, go get a saxophone and actually play it? Is that what you're saying you can do? Can you actually still play that thing?
Yeah, if I have a sheet, so like some notes, yeah, I guess I could.
So you can read music. I mean, you can read music still and everything.
Yeah,
man. Like you're gonna have to pull that saxophone out for me one day. You're gonna have to pull it. I will put you on the spot right now. I'm not gonna do it to you right now, Judah. I mean, unless you want to, you can go get it and play it now. But I don't want to put you on the spot though. But I'm amazed that you play the saxophone, because I've never even heard you talk about it before ever. And but that's beautiful, man. So what other football, wrestling, track, saxophone, what other stuff have you done? What other extracurricular activities? Have you been a part of any clubs or anything like that growing up?
When I was younger, I was part of the chess club for a few days, but I think that's
yes, sir.
I think that's really everything I've done extracurricular that I can think of right now, at least.
I need to add also, he loves fishing. Even though his sister out fishes both of us,
he likes fishing. Okay, that's a cool extracurricular activity. I like that. I've only been fishing like 3 times in my whole life, Judas. I'm not a big fisherman by far. However, I've been just to let you know it. So I'm gonna have to go with you and Coach one day. Y'all go and y'all willing to teach an amateur what to do. But I can't even remember how to put bait on the hook anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like them little squirmy worms, man. I don't know about that. But my first experience back in the day was with the little fishing, like the little bamboo stick and a string tied on there. I've done that before back when I was like a kid. And then my biggest fishing experience, Judah, is out in the Gulf of Mexico, man, out of Panama City. Went out there on the boat from like 6 in the morning to 6, and that was an adventure for me, man. I did that as an adult, and I have not done it again. But it was cool to experience it, and we got some good grouper. I think we got grouper and snapper on that trip, man. And that was a cool experience. So fishing, man, what does it like? How do you feel when you're out there in nature, in the water? How does that make you feel, Judah, when you're out there fishing and stuff?
It's really relaxing. Like sometimes I don't fish as much now because it's getting into fall. But during the summer,
right,
I'll just go out there after practice and just cast the rod out and just relax and unwind and just think about what I have to do and stuff.
Nah, that's cool. So Dr. Williams, I see you shaking your head, but if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to say this, but I want to turn to you for the expertise part of that. Fishing might actually be one of the best mental health breaks known to man. What's your thoughts on that, Dr. Williams?
I would have to say that you are right. I mean, leaders read, but leaders also find ways to think, and to have those moments and times when they can reflect, right? And so fishing is a great way to do it if that's something that you really enjoy doing. But whether it's fishing or whether it's going for a walk or, whether it's just soaking in the tub or working out, if you're an athlete, just finding something that allows you the time to just kind of let go, and most importantly, to reflect on your day or reflect on your goals. Like that, you definitely want to build that capacity into your life. And however it works out for you, depending on your personality and your interests, reflection and having that time is key to growing, and to getting to the next phase of your life.
Wow. Judah, man, you hit on something. Again, we didn't plan to talk about that, but that's super cool that that you have an outlet in fishing where you can go sit, and you actually said sit and think about what I have to do. Hey, young man, that's very important. And that you have it now at this age, that you understand that you need to take time to do that. Take time out. Let me say it like that. Take time out of your busy schedule to just sit and be still. Because that's another thing about faith, about being still and allowing God to speak to us is very important. And that's super cool that you got that at such an early age, young man. I salute you on that by far. Absolutely. So now, Coach Williams, I want to come to you for a second, because we talk about this stuff all the time, but I want you to give some insight to the world about this kind of stuff. You see, we're in a very interesting time when it comes to life in general around the world. We're in a very interesting place in history. Is there anything specific you're pointing out to your children right now that you want them to be aware of?
Well, thinking about, the current climate, political, social, the kids have a lot that they're dealing with right now. The uncertainty of the future, the introduction of or the innovation of technology, and navigating the new world that we're all dealing with in our own way. One thing that I talk to my kids about, I encourage them to start becoming more business minded. Start thinking about taking over the businesses that I've set up or that they may be interested in starting, and start your own business or become a business person.
Right.
Spreading your wings to address this financial literacy and being empowered through this opportunity that you have to gain generational wealth, to take over where your grandparents or where your parents have set up systems or opportunities, and to be better than the parents are. So last Sunday after church, we had a conversation about why we're so tough on them. Why are your parents tough on you? Why do I get on you about little stuff when everything is really little stuff? And I shared that the reason I'm doing that is because I want you to be better than I am. And with that statement, I think it landed home a little bit, because I've seen a little bit of attention to detail with the younger brothers as well as the older brothers.
Wow. That's powerful, Coach. I like that, man. I like the fact, and this goes back to what Dr. Williams said earlier when we're talking about being authentic. That state, just knowing you a little bit, just knowing you just a little bit, you were just your authentic self right there. But when you start talking about thinking with a business mindset, when you start talking about focusing on the little things, attention to details, man, when we start talking to our children about the world, I agree with you 100%. That those are definitely the things that we have to share with them and keep it on their frontal lobe. Because again, they're facing things that we never faced before. They're dealing with stuff we just never had to deal with. And so now they have the opportunity to take the baton. Judah, your generation has the opportunity to take the baton and run with it much faster than we ever could imagine. So I hope you heard your dad. I hope you're listening to your mom right now, because you're getting some insight on the way they think, how I think, and this is why we attempt to pour into you all the way we do. And we get it. Coach got, hey, we got it. That's why I admitted up front, hey, I know we can be hard. I know we can be rough and tough. I know that. And my mom to this day, my mom 85 years old, Judah, she still to this day, woo, hey. To this day. So, so I understand. But Coach is right. We only trying to make y'all better. And what I appreciate about you, Judah, you always listen. That's what I appreciate about you. So young people out here, check out the demeanor of Judah. Check out the way he's handled this session, this podcast, because he's been listening the whole time. And I noticed that about him early on, that's what he does. And that allows him to make moves that probably a lot of other young people don't make because they never heard a word that Coach Williams and I said. So listening is a tremendous skill if you learn that, because God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. 2 ears and 1 mouth. So we should be listening double the time that we're talking. Let me just leave that with you right there on that. Awesome. Hey, Coach Williams, that's awesome, brother. That's awesome. That's awesome right there. So now, Judah, are there any college or professional athletes that you admire right now? Are there any businessmen and women you've seen over the years, or somebody right now that you admire?
For professional athletes, actually, there's this player on the Giants. His name is Cam Skattebo, a running back, and I've been watching him since he played at Arizona State last year in the college football playoffs, and I just admire how he kind of put his team on his back because they weren't doing very good, and he was like the leader of everything for that game, and I just admire like the discipline he had because he was banged up, bruised, and he still went out there and gave it his all, and he didn't even win, so it's just
right,
admirable.
Hey, I'd like to add on to that. So Judah and I also we've been looking at the leadership, and we had talked about Ty Bryant and how he's been such a leader at Kentucky, because they don't have the depth that some of the teams that they're playing. And so Judah and I have been taking the time to look at his leadership and how he's been able to still be that leader during difficult times during the season. And we really admire, the way that if you're not winning is a whole different attitude around the team than if you are winning.
Absolutely.
And Judah's team right now is 7-1?
Yeah.
And they're winning, so it's a whole different ballgame. So we've taken some time to talk about that. And also, since Ty was a former student athlete of the year, I love using his example of what he's doing in real time. And Judah and I have talked about that as well.
Absolutely. Now I'm glad you brought that up, Coach, because one of the things that and Judah said it. I mean, when you pick a young man, because he's not a kid by far anymore, but when you pick a young man like Skattebo to admire and to look at and to study closely, his story is amazing if you go look at his background story. But then also the fact that look at what he just did this past Thursday night when the New York Giants beat the Super Bowl the defending Super Bowl champions. It's an amazing thing. And you're talking about two young players with Dart, the quarterback, and the running back, Scatterboo, who led their team to victory that night, this past Thursday night. So great, again, Judah, great observation of people you should look at. And then, like you say, Ty Bryant, when you see this young man is very close to your age group, and you're seeing what he's doing through adversity. Now, your high school team is winning. His college team is struggling a little bit, and he's still out there putting forth 100% effort. But again, like we talked about earlier, like your mom and I were talking earlier, once you see the parents, once you meet the parents, you're going to understand why Ty Bryant is still conducting himself the way he is on the field and off the field, by that matter. And the fact that he had opportunities because of this new age we're in with NIL and collective money. Other schools were trying to pull him away from Kentucky. He said, nah, I'm going to stick with the Wildcats because he could be playing in a much better program right now. But he chose to stay because he was committed to his brothers and the program at Kentucky. And yeah, thank you for bringing that up, Coach. That's a huge point there. Huge point. So that's good, Judah. I like the fact that you're looking at Scatterboo. That's a good young man to look at. Now, Judah, you're preparing to go to college. What are you looking at majoring in and studying while you're in college? Do you have a major that you're interested in right now?
I have a few actually. I think I'm thinking of biology, something in like film, and then something in ELA, like writing, like maybe like because I was thinking, right? I've been trying to look for a major that can help me be more successful later on in life. Like, for example, writing books. That's something I was thinking about doing. So something that's going to help me with that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yep. You got, so English. Oh, go ahead, Coach.
That's the first time I heard that one. I'm interested. What would a topic be that you like to write about?
I have like a lot of topics. Like recently I've been just anything that comes to my mind that's like maybe like an idea, I've been writing it down. So I have like a lot of topics I can write about.
So undefined at this time, undecided.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think if you decide to do English as a major, that will take care of your writing and your film side as far as writing scripts and things of that nature. But there are also film major. There's you can actually major it depending on the school. They might have like USC out there in California. They got a tremendous, film program. So there's definitely some options for you by far as you continue to make your decision on what you're going to major in once you get to a school. But just make sure the school you go to has what you want to major in. That's the key right there. And like you say, look at the future of where the money is by far. Like, where am I going to be able to generate an income? Because here's a statement that I literally say to young people and adults. The key is you developing a skill set that allows you to get paid over and over again. So you have to develop some kind of skill, be some kind of professional, be it your own business or working with or for somebody else, that you can get paid over and over and over again for that particular skill set and that knowledge that you can actually apply. Because it's one thing to have the knowledge, it's a whole other thing to be able to apply it and make it work for you and work for others. Because the number one way to make money in this world is to provide a service for others and to help other people.
Right.
So just keep that in mind as you continue to grow and develop and make your decision on which route you want to go. Yep. Again, as we talk about in the Student Athlete Achievement Program all the time, what is your goal? What is your goal? And your mom, I don't think I said this before, but she mentioned something earlier, which is real critical for our young people. Self-realization. The faster you understand yourself and you realize who you are and who you want to become, the faster you can get on that track and get to it. So I'm gonna leave that right there. Of course, we'll be talking, of course, moving forward. I just wanted to say that now while we were thinking about it. But that's awesome. Biology, film, writing. I love it, Judy. I love it. So now, man, we've had a great conversation, and I love it. So, what will all y'all, in our closing statements today, what would y'all like to share with the student athletes, the parents, the coaches that may watch this video? What would y'all like to say to them in closing? So chivalry is not dead at all. So we're gonna do ladies first here as we close out. You see, Dr. Williams, they think chivalry is dead. A lot of women think it's old, like it's no gentleman left in the world. I don't understand that, because we're still here. We are still here. But we're gonna prove it right now by ladies first. Dr. Williams, the floor is yours. What would you like to leave with the parents, the student athletes, the coaches, the other educators that may be watching this video?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm glad to know that chivalry is still in effect. Just very briefly, parents and students, anyone who's listening to this, just want you to challenge you as well as myself to take time to just have some quiet time and to get away from the screens. I know in today's world, in the 21st century, we are bombarded with distractions. And our phone, while it's a great technological tool, it helps us to stay organized, helps us to communicate, helps us to do a variety of things. We just have to really guard against allowing it to take over our lives and invade our lives. And really become kind of like the controlling factor of our lives. So I just want to encourage everyone, challenge everyone to set aside time to be away from the screen, to realize that you are the Lord over the screen and not having the screen be the Lord or the controller of you. You control the screen. And I think it's during those times when we can regulate that and step away from that we really get in touch with ourselves, get in touch with, who we are, and get to know our thoughts, not what someone has said on social media, or, what this sports, stat is, or for me, what this artist has said, or, we just need to make sure that we stay in control. Stay in control of our screen time, and not allow it to control us. And then for us, most importantly, to step away and to reflect and to get to know who we are and stay in touch with who we are as individuals, get to know our thoughts, get to value ourselves, and to take the time to reflect in order to stay centered and grounded and focused. And thank you all.
I love it. I love it, Dr. Williams. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Coach Williams, what would you like to leave on the minds of our young people?
Well,
today,
first of all,
coaches
I'd like
and
to I'd like to tag on a little bit what Dr. Williams said, and cutting some of that screen time. We've attempted to have technology-free Tuesdays and Thursdays, just so that we can set something in the schedule. Of course, the kids have homework and things that they need to do on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we try to have them in the same room while we're doing that, because the screen has become a babysitter for some families. But we choose to make our living room a life room. And if you ever check out Jonathan McReynolds, he's created a song that talks about let's make living rooms into life rooms. And that's what I'd like to share with everyone who's paying attention. Hey, if we just have a concentrated thought and make small changes, we're going to make a ripple effect that turns into a tidal wave. The kids are our future. A lot of people are still looking at their own lives instead of looking into their children's lives and to their neighbors' children's life and to their relatives' lives. If we want to change this community, we need to focus down, and then we'll see this beautiful flower that comes out called society and help communities to get better. That's what I'd like to share with everyone to take back.
Ooh. Absolutely awesome, Coach Williams. Man. Woo. But hey, listen, if y'all did not know, now y'all know how serious this Williams family is. Let me just say that. Now, Judah.
I kind of have to say
highlighted
something
you today. Yes, sir.
All right.
No, go ahead. Yes, sir.
This is more for the younger people. And I just want to say, nothing is easy in life. Don't run from hardship because it's going to come one day. We kind of learned about that at church today. And, persevere. You can do anything and always trust in God.
Woof. Woof. Hey, listen, I've enjoyed this conversation, this student athlete playbook video conversation, because, I know y'all already. However, I learned some great things about y'all today in this conversation. And so as we close out, I just want to highlight a few things that y'all said. That this is the Williams family, ladies and gentlemen, who's watching this video. We highlighted Judah Williams, Sprayberry High School, Marietta, Georgia, senior, class of 2026, has an outstanding future. So you will see him again, I'm pretty sure. But today, just some of the highlights from this video conversation. Judah himself talked about freedom. Him as a young man, understanding that he had the ability to accomplish anything and become whoever he wanted to become, including a fire truck when he was little. That's powerful. The young man has played the saxophone. Now when you see this young man, this is a big, strapping young man. And to see him play a saxophone, which I'm going to absolutely have to see, is amazing. Coach Williams and Dr. Williams talked about wanting to raise their children to be well-rounded children. And they are absolutely doing that with a sense of identity. And then Coach and Dr. Williams just talked about, hold on, let me make sure I'm saying this correctly. She just talked about the ability for them to have self-realization and them to know who they are. Sit with your thoughts. Sit with your thoughts and really think about it. I love it. Judah talked about bad images. Young people, if we do something out there in the world, these are images that may stick with you for a while, forever maybe. But then Dr. Williams came right back and talked about grace and the ability to overcome those bad images. Coach Williams talked about everybody is watching. You're being watched. So your character has to be to the utmost. You want it to be the best it can be, understanding that there is grace. And then I'm going to add one thing to that. Hey, when we make mistakes, Dr. Williams talked about it. I'm going to emphasize it now. Take accountability for it and make sure that you understand failure doesn't mean the end. We're just going to fail forward. Some of the most successful people in the world have failed the most. Matter of fact, all the successful people in the world have failed the most. Just go do the research. You'll see it's clear as day. And they'll talk about all the time they didn't accomplish something, and then the one time it hit. And that's why we know them, because they never gave up. They just kept going through all the failures. Then Coach Williams talked about that L, when we take a loss, that's a learning opportunity. That L is a learning opportunity. It's a lesson that we learn from. And then Judah gave us one of the great mental health breaks of all time. He He goes fishing and it allows him to think about what he has to do. I love that. And that goes into what Dr. Williams said. Hey, take time for yourself so you can learn who you are, so you can allow God to talk to you and have faith.
Yes.
And then we're going to leave you with this, everybody. When you're at home with your family, your living room is actually a life room. Coach Williams talked about that. Turn that living room into a life room. It's a living room that helps life move forward. Let that be it and take that time. See, back in the day, that living room, a lot of living rooms just had plastic on the furniture. You never even went in there. But let's go in those rooms. Let's put the phones down. Let's spend time with each other and talk about our day and talk about what we're going to do the next day. Life room. I love that, Coach. Thank you for sharing that with us. And then Judah himself said, hey, young people and adults alike, nothing is easy. We're going to have to work for everything that we get. We're going to have to put in that work to make it happen. So thank y'all. Thank you, Williams family, for taking time out of your Sunday to have this conversation. And listen, everybody that's watching, if you want to get in touch with Coach Williams and I, Youth Education and Sports, visit youtheducationandsports.org. Send us a message, contact us, and we'll be more than happy to work with you and your young people to help your young people develop into the outstanding adults they are destined to become. And if you do not have our materials, the Student Athlete Playbook, the Student Athlete Playbook Journal, and the Facilitator's Guide, you can go to Amazon.com, Amazon Kindle, check that out, order right there online. And then you can also come to our website and let us know if you want to order directly from us. Just give us a call, send us an email, and we'll make sure you get the copies that you need. And then locally here in Metro Atlanta, you can visit Madu Bookstore inside of Greenbrier Mall. And then you can also go out to Nubian Books out in the South Lake Morrow area to pick up your copies. So I am Barry Brown with Youth Education and Sports, author of the Student Athlete Playbook, Success in the Classroom, Sports, and Life. And you have just had a conversation with our highlighted student athlete, young man, Judah Williams, Marietta High School senior. I'm saying that wrong. Judah Williams, Sprayberry High School in Marietta, Georgia. Let me get that right. Senior, class of 2026. And we look forward to seeing this young man continue to grow and spread his wings and have an outstanding journey in life. Thank y'all again for watching the Student Athlete Playbook video conversation. One love.